Salutations, everyone, and thank you for downloading the third episode of DiabeticRadio.com. In this episode, I want to talk about relationships and the importance of building quality relationships in your life. Look, diabetics are just like everybody else in the grand scheme of things, but on a deeper level, we live our lives under a different set of circumstances. And I think it's very important because of this, especially if you're a type 1 diabetic or a type 2 who takes insulin, this becomes apparent. And I think it's important for all diabetics to understand, especially those of us who are taking insulin, you need to build relationships with people that can truly help you in the event of an emergency, or build relationships, loving relationships with people who are not only aware of your diabetes, but who is willing and knows how to use a glucagon kit, knows the signs of hypoglycemia, knows, exactly what to do in the event of an emergency, and not assume that you're just, playing around when you're acting out as they go into the bedroom and watch TV while you're having a seizure from a sugar low, grasping for dear life. I think you really need to really recognize the seriousness of that. There are too many people that I've came across who still try to hide their diabetes. Look, I understand there's certain situations where you just prefer not to talk about your diabetes, and I understand that. However, if you're taking insulin, you and I know that within a matter of minutes, anywhere from minutes to half an hour, your blood sugar levels can change to dangerously low or high levels. And knowing that fact, I don't think it's a good idea for a diabetic to take that lightly or feel that it's okay to continuously keep people in the dark about your diabetes, because God forbid if something happens to you, anything can happen, God forbid, to where you're laying down on the ground, somebody who's supposed to be your best friend doesn't even know that you're diabetic. He can't even give that important information to the paramedics because you decided to keep that quiet, or you decided that you're so secretive that you won't even wear a medical ID bracelet or necklace. This is not something that I recommend. Building strong quality relationships is the way to go. It's not enough to say, oh, she looks hot, she has a nice body, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, at some point you're reminded that you're diabetic. It's not enough to go for relationships or go for people on the basis of them having a hot body or muscles or all of those superficial things. Because if that person has a hot body and they don't have enough of a brain to tell that something may be physically wrong with you, or someone who is willing to take the time to learn how to use a glucagon kit, then maybe that's somebody that may or may not be for you. Now, don't get me wrong, if someone just doesn't have the stomach or the gumption to learn how to do that, or maybe just the thought of giving a shot is too much for that person, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out with that person because of that. That's someone that you love, but it does make a difference on how you handle things. And I think that if you choose to have a relationship with somebody like that, you need to know so that you can figure out how to work things in your life. And it also puts much more responsibility on you to make sure that your sugars are really, really, really on point. If that person, there's too many people that, we know the bad effects of diabetes when it's uncontrolled, the long term. But there aren't too many people that understand the short term. We don't talk a lot about hypoglycemia in terms of diabetes. A lot of people think that diabetes is just a matter of staying away from sugar. That's not what diabetes is about. Diabetes is the balance between highs and low sugars, regardless of what you eat. The food that we eat, that diabetics eat to keep themselves healthy, is the same great foods that skinny people eat, or people that are non-diabetic can eat. So, having said this, try to really work on having quality relationships and not just look at the physical. That person may look hot, maybe great in bed or whatever the case may be, but in the end, your diabetes supersedes everything else in your life. You don't want to continue having platonic relationships with everybody. At some point as you get older, you need to build stronger relationships. In the event that something goes wrong, that you can't think for yourself, you have a loved one that you can trust, that knows how to handle business and could take care of the person that they say that they love, who happens to have diabetes. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.